Behind the NFL's glitz lies a dark truth. Drug addiction has claimed football's brightest stars.
But yeah, for me, it started when I was 15. I took painkillers for the first time, like oxys, like anything you get from a surgery. And it was just, I was hooked from there.
From Darren Waller's fentanyl overdose to Johnny Manziel's $5 million cocaine spree, Lawrence Taylor's crack habit.
So you failed your drug test because the coach didn't come back.
Well, I failed the drug test because I was getting high.
And Josh Gordon playing high, the names on this list will blow your mind. Darren Waller. Darren Waller started stealing his parents' oxycodone pills at age 15, spending $100 daily by college while maintaining a business degree. The Ravens drafted him in 2015, but he failed over 100 drug tests, showing up to practice high on opioids, Xanax, cocaine, Molly, ecstasy, weed, and alcohol. Suspended 4 games in 2016, then a full year in 2017, his life changed August 11, 2017, when Waller overdosed on fentanyl-laced pills in his Jeep, passing out for 4 to 5 hours and nearly dying.
From having addiction, fighting addiction, and I would have to think fighting addiction every day. I don't necessarily know if that's something that goes away. Why and how did that start for you?
I like what you said about it's a continuous battle. Like today, it may not be like wanting to use or wanting to drink or nothing like that, but it's like other addictive behaviors that could replace it. So
that near-death experience sent him to 34 days of Maine rehab. During his suspension, this future Pro Bowler worked as a grocery store clerk at Sprouts. Sobriety became his superpower. The Raiders signed him in 2018, and 2019 exploded with 90 catches and 1,145 yards. Then, 2020 brought domination. 107 catches, 1,196 yards, 9 touchdowns, and a Pro Bowl. He retired June 2024, leaving $35 million on the table. Then unretired July 2025, signing with Miami. Sober over 8 years, he founded the Darren Waller Foundation funding treatment for others. Speaking of legendary careers nearly destroyed by white powder, let's talk about the man who revolutionized defense while smoking crack. Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor first tried cocaine during his 1981 rookie year, and by his 3rd season, this Hall of Famer smoked up to an ounce of crack daily.
Lawrence, you're a legend.
I know.
You got a ton of money. Coke is the only bright spot in your future?
Because that's how powerful the drug is.
And Taylor was so powerless to resist it that the day after his final game in 1994,
the greatest linebacker ever won 10 Pro Bowls, 8 first-team All-Pros, 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and the 1986 MVP with 132.5 sacks, but cocaine nearly destroyed everything. Taylor admitted being high on cocaine during games, claiming it fueled his aggression. To evade NFL tests, he swapped urine with teammates, testing positive in 1987 and 1988. August 1988 brought a 30-day suspension. Post-retirement in 1993 became a nightmare. 1995 brought 2 rehab stints. Then arrests piled up. May 1996 attempting to buy crack. October 1998 for possession. Taylor's home became a crack house, spending over $1,000 daily on cocaine and prostitutes. But November 1998 became his turning point when Taylor entered New Jersey rehab, finally wanting change. He's been sober over 26 years, inducted into the Hall of Fame 1999. At 66, he lives in Florida, and Trump named him to the President's Council on Sports in August 2025. While LT dominated defense while high, another superstar wide receiver was turning Dallas into his personal pharmacy. Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin's cocaine issues began in college at Miami during 1980s, South Florida's cocaine cowboys culture. The Cowboys drafted him 11th overall in 1988, winning 3 Super Bowls with 5 Pro Bowls and franchise records, 750 receptions and 11,904 yards. But March 4th, 1996 became infamous when police found approximately 10.3 grams of cocaine, including a Hope diamond-sized rock of crack, over an ounce of marijuana, paraphernalia, and sex toys in his hotel room with 2 topless dancers. Irvin was high out of his mind, with no recollection, facing 20 years. He pleaded no contest, receiving 4 years deferred probation, a $10,000 fine, and 800 hours community service. The NFL suspended him 5 games. While on probation, Irvin stabbed teammate Everett McIver with scissors during a 1998 haircut dispute. The 1996 arrest became rock bottom. Wife Sandy urged him to make peace with God, prompting rehab and Narcotics Anonymous meetings. He's been sober over 25 years with no major relapses post-2005. At 59, Irvin lives in Texas worth approximately $12 million, working as an NFL Network analyst. From one Cowboys legend to another wide receiver whose talent was as undeniable as his cocaine addiction. Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon admitted playing probably every game of his career under the influence, college and NFL. He led the league with 1,646 yards in 2013 while high every snap. Gordon's addiction began in 7th grade around age 12, swallowing an entire Xanax bar and drooling at his desk. By high school, he used Xanax, codeine, and marijuana daily.
So you failed your drug test because the coach didn't come by with you.
Well, I failed the drug test because I was getting high.
The Browns drafted him in 2012. Gordon's pregame rituals included shots of Grand Marnier or whiskey or smoking weed, and postgame he partied with cocaine, lean, and Xanax. Rock bottoms included wandering Gainesville streets, hunting dealers, fearing death. Suspensions piled up. 2014 brought a year-long ban. 2015 saw a full-season ban. 2016 brought denied reinstatement, and 2018 meant indefinite ban. Gordon entered rehab over a dozen times with relapses, but 2017 shifted his mindset. If I want any type of life, I'll stop. 2021 brought cleaner living. As of 2025, Gordon's been sober approximately 5+ years, retired and content. While Gordon played high, another running back used cannabis as medicine rather than recreation. Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams' marijuana story is completely misunderstood. The 1998 Heisman Trophy winner used cannabis therapeutically to manage severe social anxiety disorder, borderline personality disorder, and depression. Williams used cannabis because it allowed him to feel normal, reducing shyness and enabling eye contact. He smoked before games, crediting it with extending his career. In the NFL, he conducted interviews with his helmet on, tinted visor, down to hide anxiety. The Saints drafted Williams 5th overall in 1999, traded to Miami. Career stats: 10,009 rushing yards, 66 touchdowns over 11 seasons. But suspensions devastated his trajectory. 2002 through 2003 brought a $650,000 fine and 4-game ban. July 2004's third positive prompted retirement, owing Miami $8.6 million. Williams traveled to Australia living in a tent, India for yoga, California for Ayurveda school. 2007 reinstatement came after strict testing, and yoga helped him quit temporarily. He didn't use marijuana from 2007 through 2011, resuming responsible use post-retirement. At 48, Williams lives in Los Angeles, worth $10 to $15 million, as president of Heisman Brand and CEO of Lila app. From cannabis to painkillers, one quarterback's addiction began innocently with injury treatments. Brett Favre. Brett Favre's addiction began in 1992 after a separated shoulder injury when team doctors prescribed Vicodin. By 1994 through 1995, usage escalated to 15 to 16 Vicodin ES at once, a half-month's prescription in a day. He described it as gradual. 2 gave me a buzz, then 4, then 8. He slept only 1 to 2 hours nightly, yet felt energized. Health crises marked rock bottom. 1995 brought seizures, then another in February 1996, terrifying his family. Paradoxically, in 1995, during his MVP year, Favre took up to 14 Vicodin daily, yet threw for 4,413 yards. He entered the NFL substance program voluntarily in May 1996, spending 72 to 75 days in Kansas, facing a $900,000 fine if non-compliant. He relapsed post-Super Bowl, but required 3 rehab stints total. His rock bottom came in Mississippi with 8 pills left. He flushed them, contemplating suicide before going cold turkey. The third stint came in 1998 for alcohol. He's been sober over 27 years. At 56, Favre lives in Mississippi. He revealed Parkinson's diagnosis in September 2024, and he's embroiled in Mississippi's $77 million welfare fraud scandal. Speaking of Iron Men, one quarterback's painkiller addiction led to prison and redemption. Ryan Leaf. The biggest bust in NFL history had the biggest fall. Ryan Leaf was drafted second overall behind Peyton Manning in 1998, signing a $31.25 million contract, the largest signing bonus ever. But his NFL tenure lasted just 4 seasons with a .417 record, 14 touchdowns, and 36 interceptions. Wrist surgery in 1999 introduced opioids. He became dependent quickly. Post-retirement at age 26 in 2002, addiction worsened with Vicodin and OxyContin, leading to doctor shopping and forging prescriptions. 2009 brought Montana burglary charges for breaking into a player's home for pills. He fled to Canada. 2012 brought multiple Texas burglaries, stealing hydrocodone from homes. Rock bottoms included overdoses and prison isolation, where he contemplated suicide. 9 months in solitary. 2012's Texas arrest brought judge-mandated treatment at Karen Renaissance in Florida. 90 days of detox and therapy confronted roots, failure, shame. Prison from 2012 to 2014 forced introspection. Post-release, sober living, daily AA-NA, and therapy followed. Leaf's been sober since May 2012, over 13 years. At 49, Leaf lives in Los Angeles as a broadcaster, working as ESPN and SEC network analyst since 2019. He married Anna Kleinsorge in 2023, worth $1 to $5 million. From pills to party drugs, one quarterback's addiction stemmed from undiagnosed mental illness. Eric Ainge. Eric Ainge admitted in 2011, "I'm a drug addict. I would have made Charlie Sheen look like Miss Daisy." The Jets drafted Danny Ainge's nephew 5th round in 2008 out of Tennessee, but addiction started at age 12 with marijuana. A broken finger senior year at Tennessee introduced painkillers, oxycodone, and Vicodin abused with handfuls daily. By NFL transition, Ainge was a full-blown addict, adding cocaine, heroin, alcohol, and Xanax. Bipolar disorder went undiagnosed until 2009 through 2010, with rapid cycling mood swings fueling self-medication. He used daily at practices, under the influence pretty much every day, leading to several overdoses requiring hospitalization. Addiction obliterated potential. He never started an NFL game, appearing in just 2. 2010's pre-camp 2-week bender with cocaine, heroin, and alcohol led him to enter rehab July 2010, fearing death, missing the entire season. He retired June 2011 at age 25. Ainge overcame addiction with sobriety since July 17, 2010, over 15 years. Faith and God became his chain breaker. 4 months inpatient at McLean Hospital, finally diagnosed bipolar, starting mood stabilizers. At 39, Ainge hosts The Eric Ainge Show on WNML. Happily married to Susan Marie Ainge since 2024 with miracle son Thomas. While Ainge battled pills and heroin, one linebacker's alcoholism led to homelessness. Alden Smith. Alden Smith slept under a car during rock bottom. The 49ers drafted this generational talent 7th overall in 2011. He set an NFL record with 33.5 sacks in his first 2 seasons, 14 as rookie, 19.5 in 2012, earning All-Pro honors and a Super Bowl appearance. But severe alcoholism compounded by marijuana ravaged his career. Smith described alcohol as a crutch for anxiety. "I struggled with anxiety. I needed something before I go out," losing 31 people to suicide and overdose. His first DUI came January 2012 in Miami Beach. Then September 2013 brought DUI and marijuana possession after crashing his truck. He entered rehab for 5 weeks. August 2015's third DUI prompted the 49ers' release hours after arrest. Rock bottoms included homelessness, sleeping under a car in 2018, and 0.40 BSC. Smith's addiction destroyed a Hall of Fame trajectory with 52.5 sacks. 2019 brought a pivot when his grandmother's ALS death prompted a bedside promise: change or die, leading to Los Angeles sober living. 2020 reinstatement came after 9 months sober. Smith overcame alcoholism with sobriety since December 2021, approximately 4 years. At 36, Smith retired October 2023, running Intelligent Movement as recovery coach. From sleeping under cars to wide receiver greatness through faith and Buddy Ryan's tough love. Cris Carter. Cris Carter boldly states, "I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic. Deep inside my soul, I'm an alcoholic." That honesty saved his Hall of Fame career. The Eagles drafted Carter in 1987's supplemental draft after Ohio State's scandal, where agent payments introduced crack cocaine. He played 16 seasons, retiring with 1,101 receptions, 13,899 yards, and 130 touchdowns. Addiction to cocaine, alcohol, marijuana, and ecstasy, rooted in 1980s party culture, nearly destroyed everything. Carter's addiction began at Ohio State from 1984 to 1986, where agent payments funded heavier use. Crack cocaine blew my mind. He failed 3 drug tests from 1987 to 1990. Carter slept in his car at Veterans Stadium after binges, bought drugs in Camden wearing Eagles gear, once robbed. Coach Buddy Ryan knew, delivering tough love. Only reason I cut you is drugs. Rock bottom came Labor Day 1990 when the Eagles waived him at age 24. The Vikings claimed Carter for $100 demanding help. Mandatory twice weekly AA and testing 3 times weekly for 8 years. Sober Carter exploded. 122 catches, 1,371 yards in 1995. Carter overcame addiction with sobriety since September 21st, 1990, 35 plus years. At 59, Carter resides in South Florida as Executive Director of Player Engagement at Florida Atlantic University since spring 2024. From one Hall of Famer to Johnny Football's spectacular flameout, Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel won the 2012 Heisman as the first freshman ever, revolutionizing college football. The Browns drafted him 22nd overall in 2014, but severe substance abuse involving alcohol, cocaine, OxyContin, Xanax, and MDMA, compounded by undiagnosed bipolar disorder, imploded his career. Manziel admitted using before games and going on a $5 million bender, post-Browns losing 40 pounds from cocaine and OxyContin in 2015 through 2016, leading to a suicide attempt when his gun misfired. Post-Heisman 2012 saw him live in a drug house with daily marijuana, Xanax snorted with alcohol and cocaine. Bipolar disorder diagnosed in 2017 through 2018 fueled highs and crashes. Addiction obliterated his career with just 15 games, 7 touchdowns, and a 2-6 record. The Browns cut him March 2016. Arrests piled up 2015 through 2016. DUIs, 2016 domestic violence. Manziel overcame addiction with sobriety since early 2018, approximately 7+ years. Ex-Bray TAC urged psychiatric help leading to bipolar diagnosis with medication and therapy bringing change. February 2018's Good Morning America announced going fully sober. At 32, Manziel lives low-key working as ESPN and SEC network analyst since 2019. Speaking of running backs whose addictions cost them everything, one Denver Bronco watched his teammates win the Super Bowl from jail. Monty Ball. Monty Ball watched Super Bowl 50 from a jail cell as his ex-teammates won while his alcoholism destroyed his career. The Broncos drafted Ball 58th overall in 2013 out of Wisconsin, where he was a 2011 Heisman finalist and Big Ten all-time touchdown leader with 83. His alcoholism rooted in family history, with his grandfather and father being alcoholics, beginning in college with heavy drinking. He drank 4 days per week in season with the Broncos as Coach Eric Stoodsville smelled alcohol at meetings. Career devastation followed with 172 carries, 731 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 4th-string demotion in 2015. The Broncos cut him September 2015. 2 2015 through 2016 domestic violence incidents, plus February 5th, 2016, arrest at a hotel fight meant watching the Broncos win Super Bowl 50 from jail. Ball overcame alcoholism with sobriety since approximately summer 2016, around 9 years. Son Maverick's birth in March 2016, plus jail, catalyzed change. 2016's jail, house arrest, and probation forced therapy. He founded the Monty Ball Fund in 2018 for University of Wisconsin student-athlete mental health. At 34, Ball lives in Madison as recovery advocate with Wisconsin Voices for Recovery. While Ball turned his life around, one kicker literally played high on cocaine and scored a miracle touchdown. Chester Marcol. Chester Marcol scored the most famous Packers touchdown while high on cocaine. September 7th, 1980, season opener against the Bears. Marcol's 34-yard field goal was blocked, but the ball deflected back. He caught it and ran 25 yards for touchdown in the 12-6 win. Marcol scored all points but admitted, "I was under the influence of cocaine," snorted at halftime, feeling invincible. This Polish immigrant arrived in the U.S. at age 15, not speaking English, discovered football accidentally. The Packers drafted him 2nd round in 1972, the highest pick ever for a kicker. Career highlights include NFC Rookie of the Year 1972, 2 Pro Bowls, and Packers Hall of Fame 1987. But his 2011 autobiography details harrowing alcoholism and cocaine addiction, sharing needles in drug houses, hepatitis C from IV use. Marcol's addiction began mid-1970s with opioids for injuries. A 1975 thigh injury forced a full season miss. By summer 1980, cocaine hooked him instantly. Post-career, after being cut October 8, 1980, his spiral intensified. February 14, 1986, brought suicide attempt drinking sulfuric acid, rat poison, and vodka, destroying his esophagus. Marcol overcame addiction with sobriety since approximately 2004 through 2007. Post-21 rehabs. 2004's Libertas Treatment Center stay proved pivotal. At 76, Marcol lives near Green Bay, working as certified counselor at Libertas Treatment Center full-time. From kickers to running backs, one player admitted smoking before every game. Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell shocked the internet, admitting, "I smoked before games. I'd go out there and run for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns," performing high as hell. The Steelers drafted Bell second round in 2013. A 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, he amassed 6,559 rushing yards, 42 touchdowns, and 3,833 receiving yards over 86 games. Career earnings topped $50 million, but marijuana suspensions cost games and perception. Bell repeatedly admitted smoking marijuana before every game, viewing it as performance-enhancing. 2014 through 2017, Peak saw 1,200-plus scrimmage yards annually. His 2014 arrest, August 20th, involved DUI plus 20 grams of marijuana. Marijuana violations cost Bell 9 games. 2015 brought 3-game suspension reduced to 2, then 2016 saw 4 games reduced to 3. Perception as unreliable contributed to his 2018 holdout, where he sat the entire season, losing $14.5 million. Post-Steelers decline saw underwhelming Jets performance. Bell didn't undergo traditional recovery, just a recreational user who adapted to rules. Currently, Bell is openly pro-weed with 2025 posts. At 33, Bell retired from NFL in 2021. He transitioned to professional boxing with 2-1 pro record worth $10 to $20 million. While Bell smoked before games, one tight end nearly died from pills prescribed by team doctors. Dan Johnson. Consumed up to 1,000 Vicodin pills per month, 33 pills daily. The Dolphins drafted Johnson 7th round in 1982, playing exclusively for Miami from 1982 to 1988. Nicknamed the King of Pain by teammates, Johnson appeared in 66 games, catching 108 passes for 1,121 yards and 8 touchdowns. Part of the Dolphins' Super Bowl 19 team, he scored the team's only touchdown, a 21-yard reception from Dan Marino. His career was marked by constant physical trauma, including multiple broken bones, knee issues, and severe back problems requiring 2 surgeries, leading to heavy opioid reliance. Johnson contemplated suicide multiple times, describing the addiction as a cycle where opioids destroyed his body's natural painkillers. His story gained prominence in a 2011 ESPN Outside the Lines investigation, showing retired players abused opioids at 4 times the general population rate. Post-career back surgeries introduced high-dose Vicodin initially for recovery, but usage escalated, requiring pills to function daily. By retirement at age 28 to 29, Johnson was dependent, sourcing illegally. Rock bottom saw 1,000 pills monthly, suicidal thoughts, and family intervention. Treatment via Suboxone replaced Vicodin tapering cravings. As of 2011, he was sober via Suboxone, over 15 years. At 65, Johnson keeps a low profile, sober on Suboxone maintenance. From painkillers to alcohol, one linebacker's DUIs defined his downfall. Ray Maaluga. Ray Maaluga's January 29, 2010 DUI arrest had him crash into a parking meter and 2 cars with BAC 0.157 with an underage female passenger. The Bengals drafted this second-round pick in 2009 out of USC. Standing 6'2" and 260 pounds, Maaluga played 9 seasons, recording 607 tackles, 7 interceptions, 4 sacks, and 127 games. His off-field alcoholism manifested in multiple DUI arrests, overshadowing talent. Maaluga's addiction was primarily alcohol, fueled by partying culture and family history. He described escalating to daily dependency, admitting in 2010, "I unveiled my alcoholism. Pleading guilty brought suspended 7-day jail, 2 years probation after admitting 6 Captain and Cokes. Rehab in Charleston, South Carolina for more than 1 month revealed alcoholism. Sober, briefly hitting 100 days by May 2010. He relapsed over years. 2017's November nightclub altercation led to battery arrest with the Dolphins waiving him mid-season. 2021's rock bottom came August 11th with a crash in Villa Hills, Kentucky. Drunk, he plowed through yards hitting a parked car, pleading guilty. March 2022 brought pre-trial diversion, 100 hours community service, testing, and 5 years clean equals dropped charges. Maaluga overcame alcoholism with sobriety since August 2021, around 4 years. He celebrated 4 years August 12, 2025 on X. At 38, Maaluga lives quietly in Kentucky. Finally, one linebacker's bipolar disorder and addiction almost cost him everything. Henderson. Henderson admitted, "I like to call myself a recovering alcoholic. I understand it's an ongoing battle after his career was disrupted by alcoholism and marijuana use, compounded by bipolar disorder and depression." E.J. Henderson's younger brother went undrafted out of Maryland in 2008, signing with the Vikings, playing from 2008 to 2013 before the Jets from 2015 to 2016. Over 9 seasons, Henderson appeared in 106 games, recording 350 tackles, 6 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. His career highs came in 2013 with 112 tackles, but struggles involved heavy alcohol consumption. Henderson described substance use as masking mental health issues. By 2013, alcohol and marijuana became coping mechanisms as he admitted coming to practice hungover, stating, "I'd be in front of the huddle calling plays." November 19, 2013, arrest in Eden Prairie for DWI and marijuana possession led to benching. January 1, 2014, brought a second arrest in Chanhassen, a single-car crash into trees, charged with DWI, test refusal, and marijuana possession. Vikings release came February 7, 2014, plus NFL 4-game 2014 suspension. Jets signed him April 2015. He was placed on non-football illness list October 22, 2016, mental health related. Henderson overcame struggles with sobriety since early 2014, around 11+ years. Rock bottom came January 2014's arrest as Greg Jennings' rehab visit convinced him. He checked into Hazelden Betty Ford January 2, 2014 for 30 to 45 days. At 39, Henderson keeps a low profile as assistant linebackers coach at Avila University since 2019. Thank you all for staying tuned. We've come to the end of this video. To enjoy more of such content, click on the card showing on the screen.